Can we talk about how the scale doesn't lie, but I sure try to? I have a complicated relationship with my bathroom scale. It's not a relationship built on trust. It's more like a relationship built on hope, denial, and some truly impressive physical contortion. Because here's what nobody tells you about stepping on a scale. You don't just step on it like a normal person. No, there's a whole ritual. First, you take off anything that could possibly weigh something. Socks, gone. Bathrobe, gone. Earrings, debatable. If I thought I could safely remove a kidney and still carry on with my day, I'd consider it. Then you step on, and immediately you start adjusting your stance, like you're trying to outsmart the machine. Weight on the back foot, lean forward a little. Maybe a slight turn to the left, as though you're trying to find the scale's blind spot. And the truly insane part is that I don't even know what I think that's going to do. The scale isn't going to go, oh, she's leaning forward. Let's knock off 3 pounds. She clearly means business. It's a machine. It doesn't care about my posture. It's not impressed by my balance. It's not moved by my effort. But there I am, one foot slightly raised like a flamingo with trust issues, holding my breath, because apparently I think the air in my lungs has the weight of a family-sized ham, waiting for a number that was decided the second I stepped on, regardless of how artistically I'm standing. And if the number's not what I want, I jump off. I wait 10 seconds, then I get back on as if the scale just needed a minute to reconsider. As if it's going to say, you know what? Let me run that again. I may have judged too quickly. It never does. It never says, my mistake, I was distracted. Let's call it 5 pounds less and move on. No, it's a tiny square of betrayal, and it remains deeply committed to the truth, no matter how many times I ask it nicely. You'd think this would stay contained to my bathroom, a private little ceremony between me, the scale, and my own denial. It did not stay contained. A while back, hubby and I went to Niagara Falls, and they have this zip line, the Mist Rider, where they strap you into a harness and send you flying out over the falls on a wire. People pay for this. People line up for this. People apparently wake up and think, you know what would be fun today? A public weighing in, followed by a controlled plummet. What they do not tell you in the brochure is that before they let you soar through the air like a majestic eagle, they weigh you out loud in public where people can see and hear. I did not know this going in. I found out at the counter and I had what can only be described as a hissy fit. The really ridiculous part is that this whole thing was my idea. Hubby didn't even want to do the zip line. I was the one who talked him into it. I was fully on board right up until the exact moment I found out there would be public weighing in involved, at which point I immediately decided I would not, in fact, be participating in any of this nonsense because my weight is private information. It is between me, my bathroom scale, and whatever higher power has been watching this nonsense for years. It is not information I distribute freely. It is not a number I hand over to a stranger in a windbreaker and a headset. Hubby, who had already paid, was unmoved by my protest. He just said, we're going. I already paid, whether you like it or not. Turn around, just don't look at the scale. So I turned around, I didn't look, and I left my backpack on the entire time. Partly out of habit, partly because, and I'm not proud of this, I told myself it was adding weight to the number, like the backpack was going to take the fall for me, as if they'd see the total and think, well, obviously, several pounds of this is lip gloss, gum, and emotional support receipts. We climbed what felt like several hundred stairs to get to the platform, And just when I thought the indignity portion of the day was over, they weighed us again at the top. Again. And this time they wrote the number on my wrist in black marker. In black Sharpie marker. Like I was a side of beef at a county fair. At that point, I completely lost it. Hubby, being the calm and reasonable one in this story, pointed out that they were probably weighing us again because the harnesses are a safety thing and they generally prefer that people not die. Which, when you put it that way, does sound slightly more reasonable than my theory that they were doing it purely to ruin my day. I looked at the guy and I said, "Did you think I ate something on the way up here?" And the look on his face was very much like, "Lady, you have a problem." He was a young guy, too, which somehow made it worse. I don't think he had the faintest idea what to do with me. And then, because apparently I like to keep things moving, I looked around and said, "What's that number for? Is that supposed to identify the body if something happens?" Meanwhile, 3 feet away, there's a young woman crying, absolutely paralyzed with fear, who probably should have been gently escorted off the platform and handed a juice box. And nobody's worried about her. Everyone's looking at me. So here I am, a fully grown adult, making a scene at the top of a tourist attraction over a number written on my wrist in marker. We go. I fly out over Niagara Falls, one of the great natural wonders of the world, and do I take in the majesty of it? Do I feel the mist on my face and contemplate my smallness in the universe? No, I spend the entire ride staring at my own wrist. People have often asked if I was scared, and I always say, I think I missed the whole thing. I had zero fear about flying over Niagara Falls attached to a wire. My only fear in the entire situation was the public weigh-in, not the zip line, not the height, just the number. I wasn't scared once, not for a second. I was too busy doing math on a number written in Sharpie above one of the most spectacular views on the continent. Niagara Falls was spectacular, I'm sure. I wouldn't know. I was too busy being offended in midair.